Welcome to the Fortress Fitness Lifestyle podcast series, where we cater to you mind, body, and soul, with host Victor Francis and his special guests tackling diet, exercise, diabetes, and much more. Tune in every Saturday at 7 p.m. This podcast is brought to you in part by Burgess Grove VA Services and Abini Pro Fitness.
Good night. Welcome again to another episode of Fortress Fitness Lifestyle Podcast. And I want to say thanks again for all the viewers and the followers and the love that has been showing us. And this movement, this platform has been growing. And I just want to say thanks. First and foremost, thanks for all the supporters. Thanks to all my friends, my families, everybody who has been supporting Fortress Fitness Podcast and the magazine. I just want to say thanks. And I just want to say now, our second symposium is on the 31st of August, which will be down Central Side in Claxon Bay. So stay tuned for further more details on that symposium. And our magazine comes out, our third issue comes out the 27th of this month. So look out online. You'll see amazing people, articles, quality information on health and wellness. So stay tuned for Fortress Fitness Lifetime magazine comes out this month. So tonight I have another amazing guest, right? And this and is an amazing woman too. She's from Tobago, and she is the CEO of Tobago Tea, and her name is Miss Brianna, right? So good night. All right. So I'm not hearing you.
You hear me
Right.
now?
Yes,
Good,
I'm hearing
good.
you now. Yes.
Hi,
So
how are you, Victor?
I'm fine. So welcome to
Thank you.
Fortress Fitness Podcast, and it's an honor to have you. It's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure
And
to be here.
right in Sister Island, there you are the first Sister Island person that on this podcast. So you set the bar, and you're going to set it high, right?
I hope so. Let's see.
Yes, right. So you can introduce yourself before we get going, and let the viewers know what you do.
Sure. So I am Diana. I started a company in 2014 called Tobago Teas with my daughter at the time. And the main reason I started the company was because growing her up, I never gave her medicine. It was always tea. And it was tea because my grandmothers taught me what teas to drink for different ailments. My mother also taught me plenty as well. So learning about the teas and realizing that people are straying away from the traditional and cultural knowledge that we have of all the bush that's around us, and they're cutting it down, not understanding that they're killing our life force right around us. And
Yeah.
so the main reason I did that, and just to make tea, as they say, sexy again. So the packaging was done in a way to attract people, the younger people, so that they could see tea, and then the authenticity of the tea was in the ingredients itself. So we included a lot of local inputs in the products for tea. So
Well, that's excellent. Well, you know, in our culture, I think is that I don't know if it's a well, we would have grown up on tea, as you're correct, because I grew up on tea as well, and bush tea. Yeah, I know about bush tea. So
definitely.
you know, as we get older, and the world get modern and this and that, you know, we tend to stray. We stray from what we know, and
Hmm.
for us as you know. So you happen to go back to roots, you know, which is good because I do believe that the healing elements are in herbs. I do believe that, and you know, I don't want to say certain things because I have to strike already, so I have to be mindful on you know this going up on that platform that to strike you out.
Oh
So
boy.
careful, right? And it's no, what is fine. So the teas that you brew and manufacture it right in Tobago there.
So here's what I do. In the beginning, when I started this tea company in, let's say, 2010, I formally got off the ground in 2014. My idea was from root to cup. So I was very ambitious in my thinking, thinking I could grow everything and I had enough land, let's grow stuff and sell stuff. But when I learned more about the production of tea and having to do everything by myself, I realized that there's no way I can handle all of it. And
Yeah.
so it stepping back, I also had to blend the teas in a way that was attractive to the young people. So we all know that chai is a very popular tea.
Yes.
Chai is. We also don't know that chai is Hindi for tea. So when we say chai tea, we're saying tea tea. But chai is the spicy, love, like flavorful things that we like here in the country too. So I do a bay leaf chai with Tobago bay leaf, and the bay leaf is not irradiated, not dried in the sun. It's kept with all the oils and it's used for a flavor. And bay leaf itself has a lot of benefits. Children used to give. I don't know, we put bay leaf in everything from porridge to.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
but we also, I don't know if we knew that we were also giving ourselves a lot of antioxidants and anti-inflammatories and vitamins within that. Um, so bay leaf is a very big product, and it's also good for fitness. Bay leaf, bay leaf is for muscle ache and rest and sleep and everything else. So
Yeah.
yeah, we have it all. We have it all.
So
So when I did that back then, I thought I would do Roots a Cup, and I had to step that back a bit. So I do purchase a lot of the teas from local farmers. What I can't harvest sustainably and dry enough for my products and suppliers, I have to purchase. So I purchase from Trinidad. I purchase mainly from Tobago. And the base products of teas come from Africa, Kenya, actually, one of the largest producers of tea in the world at the moment. I think the number three.
wow. But let's go back to Bay Leaf, right? Because
Hmm.
I heard you said some stuff there. You may or may not know I'm a serious gymmer,
Yes, I
right?
can.
Right. So I don't know if you heard I'm a serious gymmer, and so I grew up around Bay Leaf, and
Hmm.
all I know, the only knowledge I have with Bay Leaf is that I think most of us is it smells nice, it flavors nice,
Hmm.
it's nice in porridge as I mentioned there,
Hmm.
right? But you mentioned some benefits there that I wasn't aware of,
Yeah.
right? And I also know that there's things that is high in those stuff that create high inflammation in your body and
Hmm.
stay away from that. But based on what you were saying there, you mentioned some benefits that I didn't know about because I haven't
Hmm.
had anything with Bailey for a very long time,
Hmm.
and I didn't know it helped with muscle aches
Hmm.
and I know and gymmers like me have a lot of muscle. Right now I'm nursing an ache on my shoulder, right? So I need to order some stuff from you, and because I just drink tea, but I also just drink. I know from time to time I drink milk coffee. I just want to say that, but I know
That's fine.
tea. I know tea is the I know tea is the go-to. My thing with why I kind of don't drink tea as much as I should is because I like authentic things. And before I met you and heard what you do, I was like, you just know what is authentic, what is not, because the world are so, I tend to stick with the local. I support local 100. So based on what you say, I know exactly what you're talking because you're talking things that I know make sense and you're talking the truth.
Hmm.
So once I know where you're, and I support local businesses, right? So once I know where you are, where your branch are in Trinidad, like I'm going to get your tea.
Yeah.
The first one I'm going to look for is the bay leaf one because
Hmm.
see with the aches and the little, twitch here and twitch
Yeah.
there, right?
So
Mhm. Go
so
ahead.
bay leaf itself is a muscle relaxant because it does put you to sleep. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good rest tea. So post workout, bay leaf is really good. So when you look online and you maybe look up post workout blends and teas, they will not list what we have here in the tropics. They'll go with what's known in North America or those other countries. But the fact is, we have everything we need here. So bay leaf itself has these phytonutrients is what they're called. So if you also know green tea has a EGCG
Mhm.
phytonutrient that got very popular a few years ago, um, and bay leaf has something similar to that.
Oh, well, now that you see, you're never too old to learn, and that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm learning about tea today, and that's why when I heard what you do, and I was telling Abinia, I said yes, of course. I said because you know the people who I see live long, like you go on social media, the Chinese and certain culture to drink a lot of tea, and they're known for living very long. So
Hmm.
I know the right tea once it's authentic with could only enhance your health. Yes. So
Yes.
yeah, a lot
So
about the chai tea, but chai tea
yeah,
was different. Well, I'm not. This is new for me. Hearing
yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
the Japanese live long too because they drink tea as part of their tradition, right? So
Yes.
before dinner, you have a cup of jasmine tea, which is traditional, um, and that jasmine tea is made from green tea.
Wow.
So it's flavored from jasmine. So tea itself, a lot of people may not be aware. Tea itself is made from one plant. The tradition, the scientific tea. So we have green tea, black tea, yellow tea, white tea. Those teas are made from a plant called Camellia sinensis. It's how you process it ends up to be the different color and types of teas.
Oh well,
Mhm.
I'm getting schooling today, and I don't mind because after this podcast, I will upgrade my tea intake and
Oh
lessen the other
yes.
things that I drink. You
Please,
know.
and if you need, I also do tea tasting. So if you need a tea tasting, I'm here for you.
All right. So what you will do, I know you're going to have my number and my contact after this podcast if you have it already. And
Hmm.
whenever you have your tea tasting, just let me know whether it's in Trinidad or Tobago.
Sure.
I will just come up for a weekend if it's in Tobago, and because I am on a journey a while now, right? And then not just fitness, because the magazine that we promote is not fitness, it's wellness, right? And fitness is not just one thing. To be fully fit is a holistic approach, so we cover mind, body, and soul. So it's not about going to the gym, but going to the gym don't get you fit alone. There's other things that contribute to you being healthy and fit. Your mind and all have a part to play in that.
It's holistic, yes.
Yeah, so that's what we push. I and my team, and that's why we do the symposium. So the communities can see there's other options outside of what you see in the supermarket or what you know, right? And most people in communities in certain areas might be a low income, and they need help, but they don't know where to get the help from, or the
Mhm.
alternative things that they know, right? So they might know, but you know whether it's Milo or whatever the case may be. And we have to educate them to tell them, you know what, you get more benefit by drinking tea than
Yeah,
drinking those things,
yeah. And
right?
so I realize over time, because people use tea as a transition either from coffee or Milo, I get a lot of women purchasing the chocolate chai to try and get their husband off the Milo in the morning or the Ovaltine in the morning because of all the sugar in it.
Yes,
Um, so, and the chemicals that they put in there for the product not to cake is also not good for you.
yes,
And so we do a chocolate chai, so that's made with Tobago chocolate as well, and that helps people get off of that. Because when I go out, I give samples, and so they try it and they realize how much sugar this has. Not much sugar, but it's so flavorful. You don't need that much sugar. You just need a pinch, but you can wean them off of sugar. So if you're used to 2 spoons, start with a spoon and a half, and then just gradually your taste buds will get used to not having as much sugar or sugar in your tea. Yeah. So it helps.
yeah,
But getting away from the Milo, so I want to say that name, getting away from the pre produced chocolate beverages would
yeah,
help.
yeah,
would,
girl. These days,
helps with health. Yes, I don't want any more strikes. So
yeah,
we would, and that would help persons get away from those products that are not good for their health because many of those you find are diabetic or pre-diabetic people, but that comes from that being the first thing that you put in your body. You kind of give it that sugar shock, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help with your insulin. It doesn't help with anything else. But the spices, like so, chai has cinnamon and black pepper and cardamom and ginger, and all of those have phytonutrients that are good for the body, and it has the caffeine that people want in the morning.
yes. And I think everybody know that ginger and those things is good for you. I think everybody knows that.
Hmm.
How it being processed and manufactured is a different story.
Hmm.
But I love chocolate. Love. No, I don't do the sugar myself. I may do just maybe a fraction of that, but I'm not into the sugar thing. But you mentioned something, and you're so correct because, and today when I was actually having a meeting with the councillor guy down in Clarkson Bay there, the same thing I was saying to him. I said, I don't expect, whilst I preach wellness and for people to change from just what you're talking about there, I know is not overnight. So rightly, as you said, someone who drinking tea in the morning and we're accustomed to a tablespoon in our tea, whatever tea we're drinking, I encourage them, all right, you know what? Just do a half a tablespoon, try it there and see, then reach down to a teaspoon, you know, because it's not overnight. Because somebody doing that for 20 years and 10 years, they
Mm-hmm.
would already get accustomed to that level of sweetness. And then they would go from tea in the morning, that amount of sugar, and they would have juice and all of that lunchtime with something that we have hidden sugars. And I mean, you know the drill, right? So our job, what we are doing is actually educating people. Basically, the same conversation you and I having. I also have a nutritionist on board who support me 100%. Amber Alexis, she has her own business, and she's a cultural nutritionist. So she guide you in the food that we love so much that we feel some people feel they can't get away from, right? She show you how to prepare it properly and still tasting good, but less of the things that will spike whether your sugar level or your blood pressure or things like that. So when you mention what you said there, you're so correct because it's a wean people away, but give them a alternative, right? And that's what you said there, and that's what we try to do as well. Do not say, well, stop eat this, stop eat, stop sugar. You
Yeah,
can't do that,
yeah, yeah.
right? You have to give them an alternative, but you also have to show them. So for me personally, chocolate tea. I mean, if I get chocolate tea every day, twice on a Sunday, I take
Yeah,
it. But I mean the
yeah,
authentic, not
yeah.
you know what? Yeah.
There's something about that tea with the condensed milk and all them spices in there. It's like Christmas morning every day.
Well. Let me make it clear. I like my chocolate tea, but I don't because I don't drink dairy, so that's out of it,
Ah, see
right? So
there.
I don't do dairy, things like that. If I have to do the dairy, it probably maybe a goat milk or oats milk or something like that.
Yeah,
But I don't
yeah.
do dairy. I don't do any kind of dairy products at all.
So that I'm putting a call out to producers here. We have a lot of agro processors on the island. There's a product that's been getting popular elsewhere, but you barely find it on the shelf. It's coconut condensed milk, and that is something that we can start making here. So we
Is
have
it
the coconut.
is it in Trinidad and Tobago?
No, I don't see it here. I see it elsewhere. But we have
Yes.
the coconut, so make the coconut condensed milk.
That's amazing because I've never heard about this, and we know about coconut. Coconut oil is top. We know that.
Hmm.
Yes, we know that's one of the best, if not the. And
Hmm.
what will happen for those people who just drink condensed, well, that milk. People that drink that milk, you and I know is not good for you, and
No.
I'm not, I'm saying it because it's not right. If they get, you see, again, this is what I'm saying. Once you get them the alternative, for those who don't have the discipline enough to say, you know what, it's bad for me, so I'm going to stop it, and it's not
Hmm.
easy. At
Hmm.
least they have alternative, right? But I'm pretty sure you in the near future, if not this year, next year for sure, you will if not produce it yourself, you will find a way to get it in Trinidad. You look like that kind of person.
I will
Yeah.
definitely.
And when you
It's,
get it, I will be your one of your ambassador and promoters for that.
see there. Thank you very much.
Yes, because I am pro the right stuff in your body,
Hmm. Yeah.
and you can advertise that. We will do an event together and boost it up, man. Don't worry about that because we
Yes.
come to Tobago just now. So
Thank
apart
you.
from your the bay leaf tea, what other teas? I know you have a lot. I'm not able to say all tonight, but
Mm. I will only mention well, not only, I will mention the big sellers that we
yes,
have that I know that the local people like. I did mention a chocolate chai, and
yes,
that is made with the local chocolate. So I get that from, well, local cacao, let's say. I get that from a local chocolatier in Tobago, and it's almost like so we're trying to do a closed circle market where you don't have any waste in your production. So
yes,
once he's done producing his chocolate and making his chocolate bars, I get that byproduct, which is still good because it's the roasted cocoa husk and
yeah,
some chocolate nibs in there, and we use that in the chocolate chai, which is really cacao chai, and that gives you that it gives you the most antioxidants you can get outside of eating the cocoa nibs for that chocolate, because it's not processed. It doesn't have the sugars added. It doesn't have the milks added and everything else that you would do post processing.
Right. I need that one.
Oh, good. See, you got your chocolate. You said you like chocolate.
Yes, I need that one. So you just before this podcast is over, let me know
Mm.
where, if I could get in Trinidad, where to go and get it.
Yes, we are available in Trinidad. I'll plug it now. So we're in Jean Collage, which is in Maraval. We're also in Hotel Normandy in Cascade. In
Yes.
the south, we have some in Excellent Stores, C3.
Yes.
I have not checked Brentwood Excellent Stores, so we were in those two. And where else in Trinidad? And if not, I'm here. We have delivery. We send things down all the time.
Well,
In Tobago, we're not hard to find either. Everything is on the Instagram, so you can look it up and see where we are.
whenever you come to Trinidad and you contact me, there's certain businesses there's collab with the
Hmm.
big supermarkets. I wouldn't call the name here, and I would give you a hearing to go speak to those people,
Oh, that would be great.
what you do, and some other places. All right, and even the gyms, because based on what you mentioned there, you know, your stuff could be at gyms as well, because it have healthy nutrients in it. So there's no reason why it can't be in the gyms. And there's a couple of gyms that I know I work with, the owners, and we have a good rap. And once I go to them and say, hey, this is, and they can see the ingredients, and you capable of explain to them like what you're doing now, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, right? Because to get to the people that you want, apart from the general public, which you will probably target, and it's okay, but you want people to at least, testify of the product, and based on what it did for them, right? Based on what you're saying here. So I will try the chocolate, and it high in antioxidant, which I know that by itself is like,
Yeah, yeah. Chocolate
thing.
it also releases some endorphins in the body, so it's
Yeah,
a very
that,
good thing for you
yeah,
as
well,
well.
yeah, well, look, you have, I raising my hand, I am that, first,
I
first,
sold.
yeah, so right. I will, I just be, very often recently I find myself being down in South a lot, doing what I'm doing. So I will, see through, you said.
Hmm. If you
Yeah,
if you don't find it, you can always call. My number is easy. It's 787 T's
yeah, I will get it. I'll get it. Your number can hide. I'm pretty sure I have it already. I don't know. Right? So
somewhere.
yeah. So a big seller. What's a beanie have it? I have it. So
Yeah,
a big seller is the chai chocolate.
chocolate chai. We
But
also do a mango coconut green tea. So green tea has gotten very popular in the last 5, 10 years because it was an anti-cancer kind of beverage that a lot of people got on. I think I mentioned the ECGC phytonutrient, and that was known in a lab to fight cancer cells. So a lot of people started drinking it because
yeah,
cancer has become like the common cold these days. And so when we're having the green tea, I know a lot of people here don't prefer it as a beverage to have in the morning because they find it bitter. Um, they find it bitter because the water is too hot. Green tea is a delicate tea. So the same boiling water you put on a black tea or in coffee, you can't put that on a green tea, and you can't brew it and boil it for 5 minutes like you do everything else. Green tea it's just before boiling water and less than a minute and a half of brewing time, and you have the tea. That's it. It's
well,
an easy tea to make once you understand it.
right. Well, I didn't understand all of that, because I would have boiled the tea away. And what I was going to say is that, you see, I think lack of education, and I am guilty based on what you're saying, because I didn't know, right?
Hmm. Mm.
And when I the same um pot that I use, electric kettle to boil water for whether it's coffee, whether, and it will, whenever it reaches temperature, it will pop up. That is the same that I will use for tea. So
Yeah,
now, I think it's most of us who don't know,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
All that you're saying is the temperature is important. That's interesting, because it goes back again to say, and I know you do tea tasting, you said,
Hmm.
I think, you know, educating the public based on what you're saying, because people might say, we trainees, if I drink that tea for a month and means the usual, right?
Hmm.
They would have been like me, boiling the water probably at 100 degrees.
And yes, yes,
Yeah,
making
yeah,
it hot and just putting it on, thinking
yeah,
everyone is made the same.
yeah.
It's not like a bush tea that you can boil, like how we boil trumpet bush or, glory cedar, those kind of teas that we pick from outside and boil. Those are different because even lemongrass or fever grass, you can't boil fever grass too long because it's high in oils. So you really should just put it in when the tea is hot, and then the oils will come out, or else you lose the flavors and the oils of the tea.
All right. But let me ask, on your tea bag, like, is there any instruction that can, or just
Good
based?
thing you asked. Yes, there is. All all the teas have instructions at the bottom. Let me try and find the
Oh,
camera.
nice.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm,
So
I'm
brewing instructions. See
nice.
there?
All right. But then we trainees don't like to read, right?
No, I tried to make it simple. It's 6 words. Brewing time, temperature,
The
drink. That's
time.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Because I know people don't have patience or temp. You're in a
No.
rush. You're in the morning. You throw it in. You boil it. You drink it. And I can understand that. But the other thing people should know about green tea is that it really is best for you brewed cold. So if you have most people have a pitcher in the fridge or a bottle of something that they can reuse, and you put your green tea in there, maybe 2, 3 scoops of your green tea, pour the room temperature water and put it in your fridge. And you drink it just like water.
You serious?
Much better for you.
Oh, well, that's again. I'm learning. I'm learning so much tonight, and I think not just me, right? I think a lot of people
Yeah,
learning,
yeah.
and I
Because
know. Mhm. Go
mhm.
ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say because after a workout, a lot of times you're already hot, your body's temperature is hot. So maybe people don't want to drink hot tea. So
True.
that cold tea or room temperature green tea alternative is really important, and it's good because you can keep it with you. And there's a lot of secret things in green tea that people don't know. So the reason that jasmine tea and the Japanese are not overweight because the ECGCs in that same green tea turns fat into energy. So it's really burning the fat in the body as you drink.
Yeah. Well, I need that too, right? Because I and fat don't really, get along well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and you see, because I know people who in the gym and who's exercise outside the gym as well, and they will try to go the traditional way, and they get frustrated because the weight is not losing, but but the weight will just lose in the gym or the savannah. You start that weight loss program at home in the kitchen.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
based on what we're talking about there, that is whilst you're sleeping, you're burning fat, because if you drink the tea as you should, obviously when you're relaxing, or at work, you're drinking that tea, you're burning fat that is, you would have
Hmm.
tried to burn out based on cardio or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that, again, this what we talking about here is so interesting, because everything that you're saying right now is new to me. We're coming to tea. I am a i am a green bee, and I'm
Yeah.
saying I am learning, and I'm glad that you come, because since I drinking tea and I have a couple tea bags home, well, I have done everything wrong based on what you're saying there.
But you've
Everything
been drinking it.
I've been drinking it, but what sense you're drinking it and you're not getting the benefit that
Full
is?
benefits of it. Yes. Well, at least you have a start. You have it. That's important.
Nah, I ain't like that, because I just tell people, like, for me is, I once I know something is good for me, even if it don't taste good, I will eat it or drink it, because I'm more on
Mm-hmm.
what's good for me than what is tastes good,
Hmm.
because most of the things that taste good is not
Not
good
good
for
for you.
you,
Yeah.
right? So I understand that. So if I could get a tea that is tastes good and it have healthy benefits, and I'm preparing it wrong, and there's a way to prepare it right, I want to prepare it
Why
right.
not do it? Yeah, yeah. And the
Right.
good thing about tea is that it's almost like wine. You kind of find your blend, and you can go with it, and it does taste good, and it is good for you. So you're double hitting there, Victor.
Yes. Well, you will have my number. Put it on, put it on speed dial. Put Vic on it. So when you see me calling, just know I'm calling for tea, nothing else.
Yeah.
Over my tea. I saw before we go further. I saw someone said that you have a herbal detox.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
once I see the message there, you can as well go ahead and yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
saw it. I saw it. I didn't want to interrupt.
yeah.
Yes, Herbal Detox is one of our other good sellers. And because it has, um, oh gosh, it has so much stuff in there. So it doesn't have any green tea, it doesn't have any black tea. It's actually a herbal blend. And it has tulsi basil, has some cranberries in there, it has some mint. Mint is also good for post workout because it's a muscle. It helps stimulate blood in the body, mint itself. So many a times, if someone has a headache, you kind of just dab some mint on your temples to get the blood flowing. So that also assists in fat burning as mint tea. Has mint in there. I mentioned tulsi basil and a bit of cranberries, which is a cleanser for your blood. Doesn't necessarily purge. Some people get purged from that tea. Um, and I say try it on a weekend. If you're buying it and you're seeing it on a shelf, try it on a Friday evening when you're not going anywhere. And it may kick in Saturday morning, but only have it for 3 days. Let me put that disclaimer out there now. Because some people want to drink it every day and for a week, and then they call me and tell me they're dizzy. I said, because that's your body telling you that you've cleansed enough. Yeah,
Yes.
you've had enough. Listen to your body first of all. It will tell you when to stop things. Yeah.
The so this detox,
Yes.
right? So is designed to to cleanse you, right?
Hmm.
Right. So it's not a detox for fat burning.
It's not a purge,
Right.
but the fat burning benefit in there would be the mint.
Right. But it's really
Mm,
a detox to cleanse
mm.
you.
Yeah, but it is
Right.
a really good tea. It's a very healthy tea. Bang for your buck. That tea, it sells really well and it lasts a long time.
And
Yeah.
because people, I know people like coworkers, friends, they always asking, what is a good detox, which I clearly don't know, right?
Mhm.
Because I think there's a lot of people now I know want to like a proper detox. There's so much artificial detox, that's chemically based, as you know, right?
Mhm.
Have things in there that you might purge, but it do you more damage than good. But the only thing you might realize again is a purge, but it may create some long term hazard in your
Yeah,
body down the road.
that you
So
don't want. Yeah.
you don't want. So your herbal detox is all herbs, right?
It's all herb. It's herbal blend. It's organic. There are no chemicals in there.
Right.
That is
Right.
some that I, because we, don't, excuse me, we don't grow cranberries here. I have to bring those things in. Some of
Mhm.
the blends, because I could not find them enough here, we would have to bring in and organic.
Yes.
The
Yes.
one issue we have here is that there's no real regulation on farming, and so you really have to trust the word of the farmer to tell you that it's chemical free so that you know it's organic, you know it's non-GMO, those
Yeah.
type of things. So unless you're growing it yourself, it's kind of difficult to tell.
Yeah. And I mean, for your business that you have there, you have to rely on some farmers to get some of the ingredients to do what you have to do in abundance.
Hmm.
You only could grow
Yeah.
so much, even if you're planting your own thing, you only could grow so much for the
Hmm.
mass production that you probably have going on,
Yeah.
right? So the detox, I'm interested in detox for, well, not for me at the moment, but I will plan that when I go on vacation. Yeah, I'll do that. But
Yeah.
but I know a lot of females ask me, is it male female can use their detoxes? There's no
Yeah,
restriction.
yeah, it's both sides. I have a tea called Paradise, um, and that is a good tea for women. I know women suffer a lot from menstrual pains and those type of issues.
Yeah.
I used to have that. That's another tea I used to give my daughter as well. 2, 3 days of the week of where you know it's coming, you start drinking that tea. It's a red tea. So for women, teas that draw red, whether it could be hibiscus, it could be cranberry, um, those type of teas, those are good for your blood system because it helps your blood flow and it gets things going, especially around that time. Also helps with cramps. Hmm.
Oh, so well, that's what you need to promote a lot
Oh
because
yeah,
yeah,
a
and it
lot of women buy that. I get a lot of women buying that tea for that purpose.
yeah, because I think everybody will want that support, woman
Hmm.
at that time of the month,
Yeah,
We want
Especially when
that to
your iron is low, and that's good. Thank you, Janice. I see that. I love your teas. Thank you.
go.
Alderman and Tobago. I love
Yeah.
that. Can you tell me what I can use the spontaneity tea for? So, spontaneity is also a green tea. That one has a bit of peach pieces and um, what else is in that spontaneity? And some blue corn flowers in there as well. It's also another green tea. You can have it cold. You can just brew it in the fridge, drink it like water, but it has the same ECGCs. Anytime you see my tea and it has a green tea or a black tea, you'll get those benefits from it. I would say all tea can be used for fat burning. I don't want to say weight loss,
Yes.
um, but it's how you drink it. So no milk, no sugar, and try and let it be the last thing you drink at night. So it's
Right.
doing the job.
Yeah. So I was coming to ask that question. You recommended best time that you recommend. Basically, what Dom said. Like most of your tea or different teas have different time that you prefer someone to drink. Apart from the detox. Like let's say the one with the bay leaf, the one, or the one with the cocoa with the thing. Is it random morning, noon, night? Is this okay?
So it depends on your um, continence, I would say. So some people drink coffee and they're fine. I would drink coffee and I'll be up for 24 hours. So
Oh,
depends on your level of sensitivity. I also have a tea called Cambay Blend, and that one is chamomile, bay leaf, and cinnamon. That is a good nighttime tea, digestive tea, post meal tea. Helps burn the fat, clean the food, regulates blood sugar. Nighttime is the best time for that tea. I made the mistake of having it for breakfast one day and fell asleep during thank goodness the meeting was virtual. Turn it off because it had everything in there for sleep, right? So it had the bay leaf, the sour sop, and chamomile. So that's a triple sleep aid there. So by midday, I was ready to doze off. I mean, it's only 15 minutes, but it does help you rest and digest food at the same time because we added in the cinnamon for the blood sugar regulation.
and I have a very good friend of mine who having problems sleeping. A
No,
co-
it's a good tea.
Yeah, so I know she's looking at this podcast, and she will want to get you know information from me. She'll get it from me where she can get the tea because she always like she can't sleep at night. She's be up and just so that tea sound like a good candidate for her to have. So you see, because most of us, whole day we up and down, we busy. Is a fast pace. Most of us have a fast paced life, and when you reach home and you do everything, you'll expect it that you just go and just drop and sleep and you crash, but it doesn't always work so.
No.
It doesn't always work so. And for me, I gym at night plenty,
Mm.
and when I reach home, certainly 11 in the night, 12 or whatever, based on how my day is, I'm not sleepy. I want to sleep. I should be sleeping, but
You're
obviously
fully energized. Yeah, yeah.
because when you work out, it doesn't tire you out. People have this belief that when they work out, you just come home and crash. It doesn't work so. So that's why teas like that. I just want to have a couple of them, different ones, so I know what this is what I happen at night after a workout or after a long day of working and like today, So since morning we out doing different things with what we're doing here, and
Hmm.
this podcast is we had a photo shoot, we had a lot of stuff happening during the course of the day. So after this I still had to go to the gym tonight. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
so
Wow.
I actually need that tea. So when I finish, I can like take that. I always go in, and I know there's people who always go in. Yes, I know rest is important, and I do try to get rest. But when you take the time to rest, and your body's saying, "Nah, not now," I need to give the body a boost.
Some assistance
Yeah, I need some
to
assistance.
get you to sleep. Yeah,
Yes,
to get you to rest because
yes,
it's
I will
it's
have
just
to.
left the gym and it wants to keep going.
Yeah, because I don't have the pleasure and the luxury to get up 10 o'clock in the morning. I get up same time every day, whatever, because I have things to do.
Hmm.
Right. So we cover a couple teas. Do you have any other fast seller that you want to mention out there?
Bay leaf chai, chocolate chai, coconut chai. It's also it's just a good casual drinking tea. Same chai blend. We just keep adding more stuff to it. Um, Sorry, go ahead.
Right. So I know you mentioned that one of the teas that you could put it in the fridge with temperature, room temperature, and drink it cold, and that's fine. But
As all teas, actually, all the teas you can have cold or hot.
I was
Green
like,
tea, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah,
Green tea is best for you cold. You get most of the nutrients out of it cold,
green tea.
cold brewed, yeah.
Yeah. So
But all of them you can have
you can have cold
cold
as
or
well.
hot. Mm.
All right. And I know, like, whatever I go to work after a podcast, based on whoever it is, you guys always asking me some kind of thing based on what it is. So you have tea for that time of the month for women. How about men? You have any tea for men?
Oh, I keep hearing that. So
I had to ask because they go ask me when they see me. They say, "Well, Vic, why you ask the lady
the
if
tea
she
for
has
men,
for men?" I had to
as
ask because on
as
behalf
as
of men.
I don't want to ask to do what, but I will say I'm still working on it.
Right. At least I asked, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. There's a bush in Grenada that got quite popular. Um, it's the goatweed um, tea. Well, they put it in what did he put it in soup? And that I think that person made easy 4 million US in 1 year
serious.
from that tea for men. Yeah, because it had the H word in front of it for
Oh,
men.
and it's writing is writing is silent right there.
Jamaica, yeah, he did really well off that tea. So I do see it on the shelf up there.
So well, get it down here because Trini men.
Yes, I
Let me
will.
get
I don't know
well,
what I would be encouraging, but we'll see what can
well.
happen.
Most importantly, there's certain things is being the shelf and the advertising. I wouldn't call the name of certain drinks
Oh yes,
advertised a particular way, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't work the way that they advertise it, but it still sells.
full of sugar. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
full
full
of
of
sugar. I'm sure.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's full of sugar. And I have seen people that I know, men that I know, drink it real. I mean, drink it like water every single
Uh,
day. So I
oh,
know it's just marketing strategy, but if you can get something that in a tea form, right, and give you 1% for those who need it more than some, 1%, and coming from you, it will have some health benefit as well. I imagine that it will be mixed up with other stuff. I mean, why not? I mean, it's business.
something to consider. Thank you, Victor.
Yes, I know.
I'll put you on the label for that one
Well,
as
I might
as
get some fatigue
as the
trainer there.
model.
They might, it might be forced advertising. They might say, they might watch me. Vic,
What's
what we,
wrong with he? You didn't tell us.
yeah, it's a perfect. All that muscle and that strong man thing. You didn't tell me what going on. But seriously, no. If you
No, I
know,
can see that. I mean, if only for getting them off of the sugar and into an
yes,
alternative
yes,
beverage, that
yes.
would be a good reason to do it.
Because you and I know that the people who really would run down those drinks for the reason that we say in here, their body not function properly based on health issues and
Hmm.
bad eating habit, and after a period of time, the blood flow is not where it's supposed to be. We all know. So everybody look for a quick fix now in this world, and that's why those drinks like that makes so much money,
Hmm.
right? The one with the pong and sugar in it, right? They play with your mind and let you know, hey, yeah, and people run with it, and especially
Yeah,
those who actually need for that, for
yeah.
help.
And so now that you say that, a lot of the time men suffer from those issues, either high blood pressure or
Yes,
diabetes. Um, and those drinks are full of sugar. And they, both of those conditions don't need that type of beverage.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
And again, I think our we are starved in the Caribbean. I think, well, Trinidad, might be high in it. It's lack of education, knowledge of, what to drink, what not to drink, and the dangers of certain things in our food, whether it's excessive sugar, excessive salt, um, you know, certain oils that is not good for us to cook with and things like that, right?
Mhm.
So it might be affordable because of budget and things like that, but we pay the price down the road because it always come to claim what it gives you earlier on. and it's
Hmm.
never good, right?
Yeah.
Never good. So most people go through life, and I said this on a different podcast, hoping for the best, but not doing nothing upfront, right? If you do that today, make a change today, whether it's include your tea, your healthy tea, or together with some walking 2 3 days a week, whether you go to the gym or not. Because I do promote gym, I promote wellness. So it could be in the savannah, it could be in your yard. Keep
Hmm.
moving with a little adjustment to your diet. If you do not have that now in your 20s, in your 30s, guarantee you down the road, you're going to get one of those lifestyle diseases. That's
Something
guaranteed.
will happen. Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially if your diet doesn't maintain a good, healthy lifestyle.
you
Yeah.
know, and I have seen so much people suffer from those things. And even if you haven't done anything in your 20s and 30s and you start in your 40s, you can reverse it. But the most important thing is to start, right? There's a saying that we just eat our way into bad health, but
Hmm.
also we can eat our way out of that,
Yeah, we
right?
can. Yeah, I was actually walking with a friend on the beach last week. What did she tell me? She's 67. She's retired now, so we were walking, and she told me she started running at the age of 35. So wow, why? They went to the doctor. She couldn't open her fingers. She started to get arthritis, so she couldn't open her fingers fully. So she changed her diet and started to exercise from 35. She looks great. She
Yes,
looks
because
great now, and now she just walks. She goes to the beach. She swims. Just keep moving.
yes, and yeah, because it can be. I've seen people. I know people personally who reverse those things. But yeah,
Hmm.
again, you have to start in your mind and say,
Hmm.
you know what, your obstacle cannot be bigger than your why you want
Hmm.
to do your right thing. So change and lifestyle adjustment or lifestyle change for most people. What when they open them out is hard, and I'm saying it's easy, but most of us wait until we go by the doctor and the doctor tell us, well, it's either or, either you change your diet or else, you know, you may not live the year.
The threats, yeah,
Yes. And what I promote when I talking to people is that you must have a why that is bigger than what you think you cannot get over. You must have a why you want to live when you reach 50, 60, 70. That, you must have a why. And
yeah,
if why your why must be bigger than the tablespoon of sugar, the macaroni pie and everything else on a Sunday, right? That they eat during the course of the week. You must have something bigger than that, so you're able to give that up or cut back on that in order to have a healthier life down the road.
yeah,
You
yeah.
must give yourself a
Yeah.
chance. A
Her
chance,
motivation, my friend's motivation last week was she was not going to have arthritis at 35. She told the doctor, "I'm not accepting that."
and it's
She's good.
unacceptable. She's
Yeah.
correct. She's correct because you shouldn't be. Arthritis is, you and I know, and based on how you talk, and I'm sure you know that arthritis is high inflammation in your body,
Hmm.
right, in your joints, and again that can be reversed, and she reversed it
Yeah.
with
She
your
stopped
diet.
drinking the certain drink. She
Exactly.
gave up a certain diet, and she's good now.
Keep moving, and
Hmm.
she's okay, right? So there's a friend of mine I also know that has that high inflammation in her body that she's actually making steps now to deal with that. And as you say that, which tea you would recommend that you have? Because I know she watching the podcast and she will purchase it. I know that.
Hmm.
Which tea that you would recommend to help her deal with that? She doing all that
The
stuff.
inflammation.
Yes, she have high inflammation in her body, and she's getting a lot of pain in her joints and her fingers.
So
Um,
it's I have it, but it's also something most people have. Ginger. Ginger is anti-inflammatory.
yes, but I
It's a
live on ginger.
very good anti-inflammatory.
Yeah,
It really does help. Again, all the chais have ginger if you want something flavorful. And
yes,
ginger is best fresh. It's one of those teas, one of those herbs, roots, sorry, that are very good, that is very good for you and very good for you fresh. So when it's dried, you lose a lot of the oils from it that you need.
yeah.
Tastes better
I
fresh.
yeah. So well, all right. So I'll tell her because all your teas have ginger in it, so
Well,
that
the
better.
chais, yeah, all the chais would have ginger. I have a client who Again, she has the inflammation and she also wants the flavor. So she buys the green tea that I have. So she'll buy the either a plain one or she'll get the mango coconut green tea. And she'll just grate her fresh ginger in there, and that's what she drinks. She's been with me for some years now, and I just refill her on that tea all the time. So
Your combination of mango, coconut.
mhm.
I've never heard. That's kind of how I came up with
Try
that.
to keep it local. So all the all the
Yes.
teas, as I keep saying, I want to make it modern. So we want to acknowledge and appreciate the history that we have and what we have locally. Mango and coconut are two things that we have in abundance, and two
Yes.
things that I know I could always find and get here. So the dried mangoes, that's something that's not really produced here. So sometimes I have to bring it in, especially if I want organic certified mangoes, because it's kind of hard to produce in the amount that I need.
Yes.
Dried coconut, you can get that here as well. You can also grate and dry the coconut. So those two in the green teas, it just kind of made sense. Mango, coconut, green tea.
Yes, because that's when you hear that is like your antennas go up one time, mango, coconut tea, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
coconut for eating and
yeah,
whatever and mango as well for sucking,
yeah,
coming
yeah,
in that tea now, so it's like mango coconut, everybody's like, oh no, that will taste. But I
yeah.
imagine, it tastes good, just like all the
It's
rest of
good.
the
It's good.
tea.
I do have to say it's light. Any green tea is light on flavor. It's not going to be a robust blend like a chai where it's full of flavor because it's a black tea. So when people are weaning off of coffee, I tell them start with black tea and work your way up to or down to green tea because the black teas would have the highest concentration of caffeine, and then you work your way back to a green tea.
Yes, well, again, knowledge for me because when I'm weaning my way off of coffee, which I
Hmm.
want because I know too much of that. I try to do brew coffees more than the instant,
Yeah.
and but tea is something I don't drink as much as the coffee because I'm always on the go, and I keep saying I've been drinking that tea all wrong, all wrong. I was boiling water there for 2 3 minutes, soaking
Pelted
the
it
bag.
on.
Yeah, soaking that bag. And when I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
and when I do that, I think just as most people I believe who don't know, I thinking that the more that I soak it in the hot water, the more that I get the flavor.
Hmm.
But the more that I soak it in the hot water, is the most is I'm not getting what I'm supposed to get.
Yeah, yeah, you're releasing more of the tannins with the hot water and the thyme. So that's what makes it bitter, is those tannins in the green tea. So the shorter you do it, it just releases what it needs to very delicately in the beginning, and then you just drink it from there.
And I think
And the
that
thing,
go ahead,
sorry,
sorry.
go ahead.
No,
You know,
no,
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say, and the thing about all of the teas, why it's good, is that you can brew them all twice. And in some cultures, you brew the tea until until you're drinking hot water, until it has no flavor. But
Wow.
you have to really adjust your thinking and your taste buds. You're not going to get a coffee flavor with tea. It's not going to be strong. It's not going to be that kind of depth of it. Chai would give you that depth because of how it's made. Chai likes to be boiled. So just as you're boiling coffee, you can boil tea. If it's
Shy.
yeah, chai likes to be boiled. So when you see traditional chai being made, it's usually in a big pot, like how we throw a three stone outside,
Yeah.
and you boil your chai and you just scoop and drink. But again, traditionally, chai is had with milk and sugar. So weaning yourself off of that really helps over time.
Yeah, well, I don't do the milk and the sugar thing. Maybe I should have dairy on me. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So again, a lot of people, if I'm brewing the chai for people to taste, I literally put a pinch of sugar in there just to mellow out the spices and bring out the flavors.
Yeah,
And
that's
they wonder how much sugar. I said, no, you have a pinch. You hardly have anything in there. It's just like how you put salt in food, you put a pinch in
yeah, yeah, and again, it's how you see that I know when we talking, I keep mentioning education in what you're talking about there, and most of us feel it's just we lost the flavor and the value in preparing a tea or anything wrong, and one of the things I think. what has kind of not turn me off, but make me drink tea less and more coffee in the past is obviously overboiling it and tasting bitter. you know, yeah. So yes, because so that's what I said. But how does tea tasting? They tell me is this. When I boil it, it's bitter. I was like,
Yeah, you're wondering what happened
I
there.
wonder what's going on. I said, but
Yeah.
these are aloe tea, you know. So
That's a good one.
yeah, and aloe is actually, I mean, it's a good thing because I grew up around aloe,
Yeah,
so I know
very
that
good.
that you may have to consider as well,
I've
you know.
tried it. I'm still working on it because it's kind of hard to have that with all that bitterness. You just have to make up your mind.
You said you just have to make up your mind, take some.
Yeah,
But I think in the Caribbean here, we know that aloe are good. That's how we know turmeric, ginger, garlic and thing is good. And do you have any tea that have a high potency of garlic in it?
garlic. No, actually, I've not done a tea with garlic.
I
And that's selfish because I don't like tea with garlic. I've had to drink that tea with garlic. You know when you're sick and they want to grate garlic and ginger and
yeah.
give.
A granny always to give you the garlic, you know
I
that.
was in my head. Yeah, that's in my head. I can't get over it.
And that's well, you
I'm
gotta get over
trying.
it. You gotta get over it because you and I know that is good.
It's really good for you, yeah.
Really
But
good.
again, garlic is another thing that's best fresh. So I can't replicate it to put it on a shelf to sit for a long time.
Okay,
As much as I would love to. What I will do, because that's one of the ideas I've had, is to produce teas that you can, like recipes, you can make them at home.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's yeah because if it's a, like how you had the mango and coconut, I think based on how we grew up in the Caribbean here in little communities, we all would have grown up with garlic, ginger, turmeric, and bush tea, and the usual thing.
Hmm.
And when we sick back then, no matter what we granny give us, garlic is to be part of it,
Yes,
And
definitely.
yes, we don't like it, but for
Yeah.
some reason it doesn't always work, and we never see
Yeah.
get sick often
Yeah.
as the young ones get sick often now.
Yeah. Definitely.
So and garlic have a lot of good nutrients in it.
That's a lot of phytonutrients in there
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. And one of the
I,
things that I know, sorry, one of the things that I know, I had someone here some months ago, can't remember, but CMOS, I know it have a lot, I think 92 healthy nutrients or something like that. How about CMOS? Anything with CMOS? In the
if I
pipeline?
if I could be graphic and saying drinking sea moss would be like drinking spit. I don't know. It's very slimy. It's thick. It's hot. It just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
But I can
I
try.
just call it out tradition thing and see if you catch anything.
I like sea moss and punch. Yeah, that's one of the things I'll keep in my punch. But I'm not sure about tea. I think I try every now and then. I'll find something, or I create so many things all the time. Something
Yeah,
to come to me, I'll get inspiration.
it gets inspiration. Well, in
Um, but
Tobago,
we can circle back to that one.
yeah. Well, you reach the coconut and mango, and I think if you can have coconut and mango, I mean that by itself, I would never think about that, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
So,
just it's to keep it traditional and modern at the same time. Because who said we can't make our own traditions going forward as
hey,
well?
and I like that. I like that.
Hmm.
We tend
I,
to, we are people tend to copycat a lot.
hmm.
What's happening out in the in the Western world and
Hmm.
things like that. And so I like the idea when you talk about creating our own our tropical brand like what you're
Hmm.
doing. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter that some products from outside where they can't get here, but it's organic. But
Hmm.
we're keeping it all tropical, all Caribbean, all island type, and that's
Yeah.
good. Island style tea, Tobago.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. I like that name. But but I,
Yeah.
but how we come up with that name? Well, I would understand. Well, not
Mhm.
understand, but I will. So how?
So a lot of my inspirations come in either prayer or dreams or just it will come.
Okay.
And the companies, I think, although the company started with my daughter, me having tea as the medicine in my cabinets, I think one day or one night at probably 3 in the morning, I had the name Tea Bagel in my head. And when that comes, I do have to write it down, and it means I need to go with it. So I just listened.
Yes, well, when that voice come in your head, and it's the same with me. I mean, when I started this, what I'm doing here, the name came in my head just like that, and here we are with the brand, right?
Hmm.
I also have a foundation where I help give charity to stuff to people who less fortunate, and that name came to that one actually, like God, like he get a loudspeaker come my ears and said, that
Make
was
sure.
the name. You make
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and so for a few years now, every year Christmas and sometimes during the course of the year, anytime who bunks up in need, we would
Hmm.
give some help out now.
And you know what I realize is that if I get an idea and I don't act upon it, it's still out there in the ether, and then somebody else will do it. And you'd often think somebody stole the idea, but he was just talking to somebody that listened.
Hey, hey, I like
That's
that.
all.
No, I like that.
Uh,
I like that. And
yeah.
and I don't know. I mean, I am, God is my foundation, and He guide everything that I do.
Hmm.
I put Him in front everything that I do, and everybody that come on this podcast have a why they do what they do, without me asking. And it always comes back to believing, not just say what is me. Everybody is like, well, God would have, give me the strength to, or give me the idea, or help me out through something, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. So the why becomes, but it might be a sickness to get over adversity, because I have someone who came on this podcast who would have beat cancer,
Mm.
and she would have used certain product to go all natural to help, and now she produces creams and oils and stuff more external, right, based with sea moss and other herbs, right,
Moringa and
so that, yeah,
things.
that
Yeah.
would have contributed to her being, you know what she was going through, her
Much
thing,
healthier.
right. And I like that, because it's just as you say in there, you used to drink a lot of tea, and you still drink a lot of tea, because you know the benefits in it. So you could have always said, you know what, I keeping that idea to myself, I healing myself, I know the benefit. Who don't want to drink tea? That is the business, which most people is do that. you
Yeah.
know so it's not about money and all of that, but it's about your why. To me would be, what, the health benefit of
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
tea, and you
Yeah.
decide, what, let me share. What you're doing is sharing the benefit of.
Of what's natural and what's here. It's trying to get people back out there and into their yard and into their garden. You have it outside, drink it. There are a lot of things out there. You have wild licorice in your yard that grows wild, that's there.
and
You have
and
fever grass in your yard, drink it, that's there. There's so many things there, drink it. Even if you don't buy my tea, go outside, put your hand in some dirt and drink something that you have. I see
yeah,
a,
well,
I see
yeah,
a
so
question keep coming up there. Am I still in a Rima? I was at I can't remember the name of the place. They closed down for COVID or just before COVID in Arima. It's a very nice artistic. It's not Roots Yard, but it's another place. I am not still in Arima. If you know of another tea place out there, I would be glad to approach them. But we're not in Arima anymore. Yeah, that question came up a couple of times.
yeah, so I there,
Um, mhm.
so you
But
need
yeah, again, to get out there, I try to get people back into nature. I'm a very natural person per se, and it'll be nice for people to remember and know what they have outside. Ask your granny. That's how I am.
yeah, Granny always know. But
Yeah,
but do you take part in like seminars and thing, educating people, like just how we talking here? You
I
know,
do. Most of the times, people will call me to either attend or speak. I enjoy doing tea tastings. So I remember doing one a couple months ago with Kastara Retreats. They were having a yoga retreat. I was out of the country at the time, but I sent some teas to them, and we did a virtual tea tasting, and we had a very nice conversation just after their yoga class. So I sent them the same chamomile bay leaf tea, which is Cambay blend, and we sipped that virtually together. So while they drank, I drank. We spoke about the flavors that they were getting from it, how it was relaxed. They were able to meditate and just zone in. It was a yoga retreat, so they were able to zone in, and they got all the flavors out of there. We had a good discussion on just teas and what was around. And somebody asked me a random question. I don't know if she was testing me. She asked me about Shadow Benny. What is that good for? I don't know if you know what Shadow Benny is good for, Victor.
No,
You know another name for Shadow Benny?
it's my next name. They just call it in truth, you know.
Yeah. What is the other name? That would tell you what it's good for.
I can't think about it at my head right now.
Fit weed.
What is?
Fit weed.
And then that was the
For
name
when
of.
children, yeah, so when children have fits, it was to help them with seizures and epilepsy. So back in the day before the medicine was made, if they know a child used to have fits, they would give them Shadow Benny tea to drink.
Well, I know about that. I know about Charbonnet, to season fish and meat and all of that.
Again, it's outside, growing as a weed
Yes, and that be all over,
everywhere.
Yeah, so I think the majority of us just take it when we want to season something. Uh,
Hmm.
I mean, and because I can't really imagine it's probably possible. Charbonnet tea, I don't know if it's possible.
I've never made it as a tea.
Yeah,
I
I
have
never heard
used
it.
it in smoothies. It's actually refreshing in smoothies.
Oh, well, I'm a smoothie king.
Yeah.
I've never even think about putting
Put
a
a leaf, just one leaf in your smoothie. You'll thank me later. Thank you.
serious
Yeah, just one leaf.
Charbonnet.
You might, I just you try random stuff. Just try it and you'll tell me how it was.
Well, I would take your word for it. I mean, you just do another experiment, you know. So in the end of, let's say, end of August, you'll be. I know you probably just travel a lot. Would you be in Trinidad and Tobago like till the 1st of August? Do you know?
I I will just have to check my schedule and see. But yeah.
Yeah, because they're having something. Fortress having something, the same wellness symposium, and it'd be nice for you to be around if it's possible to just
Mm.
talk to the people in that area, in that community, based on tea, because I can see the value that it could bring to something like that, because there's a lot of ageable people who would want to drink things like outside of the caffeine and high caffeine, and you know they've been told to cut down on milk and this and that, which is good, but
Yeah.
it's tea. I think they know tea, but it's which tea to get. I think that's
Mm.
that. So once you're available, I'll give you notice. If you can't, it's fine. I understand, but it's good to
I will make every effort.
yeah,
Yes.
it's good to have that kind of knowledge. I learned a lot tonight, so I'm going. You need to get some outlet in the East West corridor, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I am on the East West corridor,
Okay.
and there's outlet. I see, I speak it into happening. I'm speaking into being.
Thank
You know,
you.
2025, you'll have multiple outlets, East West corridor. So I could say, you know what, I'm just going down by this grocery here, or this you know,
Maybe
like,
in a tea bagel cafe.
hey, as you mentioned that, I know I asked my editor chief for extra 10 minutes. I don't watch, right?
You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, got this. All right. Um, a tea shop. That's what you mention. That sounds good.
Hmm.
I don't know what it consists of, but the idea come to my mind as you mentioned that, there's coffee shops, as you know, you and I know. There's some big ones in Trinidad, foreign ones that are in Trinidad now. Um, do you have in Tobago?
Tea shops?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
We don't have rituals. I mean, sorry, we have rituals in Tobago. We don't have Starbucks in Tobago. I'm happy for that. But I am in a lot of little cafes in Tobago that sell the teas for me. They also sell coffee. They do brunch. So it's that environment where you get a lot of tea drinkers in. I'm in those type of little cafes.
I would like to see, and I'm speaking this in being again, Tobago tea shop.
Oh yes,
I,
definitely.
that somehow that I feeling that, you know.
But I also have to put a plug out there for my other tea entrepreneurs, my teapreneurs. I have maybe two more in Tobago, and there are a few in Trinidad, and a lot of them and it's an honor to me for them to say, I see what you're doing, and you inspired me to do the same and do my company. And I see different chais. Somebody has an orange chai on the market as well. They're just, they're creating different things from the base that one person has created. And I don't mind that because it lends credibility to the industry. So, yeah, I mean, when you grow, we all grow. So that's fine with me. But in my tea shop, I would love to have Tea Bagel and my other tea vendors around as well. So
It's gonna happen.
thank you.
It's gonna happen. This
I
podcast
take
will
that.
you'll play this podcast again down the road, and you will say, "No, Victor really said that," because it somehow is relevant, and it ties into what you're doing.
Hmm.
And again, the same way we all could go different parts of Trinidad and Tobago and get coffee in so many places that you mentioned just now.
Hmm.
It should be we can go look for the same name, Tobago. Hey, I go my Tobago. Let's meet in Tobago and talk
Hmm.
business. Because
Yeah,
myself, Candice, and my team is meet at one of the names you called just now there, and talk our strategy and how we're going forward. And certain things at different times. So we should be saying soon, let's go in Arima or Tunapuna or Sawa or Port of Spain or in this plaza, and we're going to meet and discuss strategy at Tobago Cafe.
speak it
Yes,
into being. Thank you, Victor.
because
Yeah.
you mentioned yoga, and I know yoga and tea seem to be hand in hand, right? Based on and I know actually a yoga person was here just 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, and
Nice.
tea is a big thing with them based on calming and meditation
Hmm.
and all of that. So your tea shop going to happen, and any support you need, any branding, I'm supporting. I'm going to pose with a tea bag, with myself, and Michelle Nabini will support you,
Thank you. Thank you.
and
And thank you,
that,
Abini.
yeah, that's
Hmm.
what we support one another. We wish further in life when we support one another, and that's what Fortress is all about: supporting one another, supporting entrepreneurs, grow. We all, put your ad, put your business on this magazine. We'll send it out there. Come on the YouTube channel, the podcast. You have new products. You can come anytime you want, and bring it out, highlight it, market it, promote it. It's not a problem.
Hmm.
You're welcome. You could put an ad on our page, Facebook group page. Abini will tell you. Just call Abini or Candice, and they will put it out. A flyer or anything you have in. You can advertise. It's fine. It's fine. We support
Thank
you.
you, Victor. We need more like you out there.
Yeah, I'm
You're
setting
doing
back.
great service.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And we'll be in the team. We'll be in Tobago soon. And as we touch down, we're coming straight by you.
Yes, please.
Some Yes. So before we go, I want to say, give you the opportunity to, your social handles. You can say where people can find you, where your
Hmm.
stores are located in Trinidad and Tobago, and then
Hmm.
we wrap up from there.
Right. So there's so many I wouldn't remember all. Please go to our Instagram page. It's Tbago on Instagram. We also are on Facebook. My number again is 787 T's. You can always WhatsApp that number and I will get it. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We also have an email address, sip@tbago.com.
Yes. All right. So thank you, Biana Tobago. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank
When
you. You
I
too.
heard this a lady coming from Tobago and Steve, I was like, let me see. But you are fabulous. I like
Thank
how you speak. I like how you promote your stuff. Your personality is excellent. And it was a pleasure meeting you.
you.
And I hope that we can do collab as we go forward in 2024 and beyond. All right. So may God continue to bless you, keep you and your family, and grow your business. And the sky is the limit. So
Thank
continue
you.
to push to the stars, and remember, Fortress will be there, right, keeping it up. We
Thank
will
you,
be that
Victor.
we will be that wind beneath your wings, just pushing it up. Yes,
Yes, thank you. Excellent host, Victor. Thank you
yes.
so much.
Have a blessed evening and take care.
Special thanks to our partners Virtuscope VA Services and Abini Pro Fitness. And don't forget to get issue 2 of the Fortress Fitness Lifestyle magazine available now.